Hey guys, your habits and my habits are the building blocks of our lives. It's the patterns, the routines, the rituals, the habits we have in place that literally make up our lives, who we become, and ultimately the final outcome and quality of our lives. They're literally built by our habits. Those are the building blocks. And so any health and wealth and happiness and success, or the opposite of all of those, any misery, any unhealth, any struggling failings, the stress, the turmoil, just things falling apart and misery, they're literally all the byproducts of our habits and our rituals and our routines. And so in order to build a happy and successful life and to really just nail it, we've got to have good, positive rituals and routines, patterns and habits in place all the time. But you realize that, you know that, right? As I'm saying that, you're like, yeah, of course, like you gotta have those things in place. Anything that's automatic, right? And you can tell if it's a really solid habit because it's automatic. It's just the things you do. You just roll with it, you get up, you do it, and it's these patterns you get into, you do it all the time, and we all have it. We're just constantly in this state of habit. We're very habitual people. But a lot of us have tried this shift to habit, right? We've tried to change. And you're into it, like you're 2 or 3 days into it and you're like, oh, I'm dying here. I've been getting up at 5 a.m. for 3 days now. Like, this is terrible, right? And it's hard to make those shifts. And it's hard to, well, it can be. It doesn't necessarily have to be hard. Sometimes you'll just hit it and you can change. But sometimes it's straight crazy challenging to create a new habit and a new pattern that becomes automatic, that becomes this positive ritual in our lives. It's really windy out here and cold, so hopefully you guys can still hear me here. The waterfall going and the wind blowing. But I wanted to share this strategy that is super powerful. It's going to make a big difference in your life, right? And it's this idea of infusing your rituals and your new habits with purpose. Purpose has so much power. I read a study once of this woman. She tried everything under the sun to quit smoking, and just kept going back to it. She got pregnant, and the doctor said, look, if you smoke, you'll harm the baby. Done. She was done smoking, right? It was like that, because she had purpose in it. And so today's invitation and challenge here is to infuse purpose in everything you're doing, and really inject purpose into it and into every part of your life. Like, why are you doing what you're doing? Sometimes we pick up habits and patterns out of laziness, out of indifference, out of apathy, out of just because, like, you're just rolling along and you pick it up and you just do it. And I often talk to people, work with people, like, hey, why you do that? And I don't know why I do that. So if we want to create a new pattern in our lives and get a new outcome and new results, then we have to do it with purpose. And if we get enough purpose in there, in the heart and the mind, and like it just sinks in, we're like, this has to happen, and I've got a big enough why, right? Your why is your purpose, then you can do it. You can make changes. And I've seen people make changes instantly. They can shift directions in a moment and never look back if they have enough purpose. And so I want to invite you, like, to look at everything you're doing and everything you want to do and just see where's the purpose here. And the ultimate goal is, you guys, that we're living on purpose. Like, I get out of bed on purpose, meaning I've got a time that's purposeful. I've got an activity that's purposeful. I go right into my morning rituals, and everything that's included in my morning ritual and routine is on purpose. And I engage with my family on purpose. Like, when I see my wife, it's on purpose, right? I'm engaged with her, talking. When I'm with my kids, I'm doing it on purpose, right? When I go to the gym, I go on purpose, not to chit chat and listen to some music and lay on the bench because I'm working out, right? But like, I've got a purpose. When I go visit friends and neighbors, I have a purpose. I'm not just getting together and like, shoot, we got nothing to talk about, let's just gossip about the neighbor. You see what I'm saying? Like everything I'm doing with purpose. When I pick up a book, I'm in it. I'm learning. I'm not just reading fluff or whatever. Like I'm here to do it. If I ever watch TV or a movie or something, I've got a purpose. If I got an activity, a sport, a vacation, like whatever I'm doing it on purpose. Like my life is purposeful and meaningful. And you see what I'm saying here? Now that's there's power. There's literally power behind all of that. And so I take something like, and maybe I don't, that doesn't mean I always feel like doing it. And there's tons of times I don't feel like doing it, right? And you're like, man, I don't feel like getting out of bed. I don't feel like going to the gym. I don't feel like going and helping the neighbor. But if it all has purpose, then it changes things, right? When I'm studying French and I'm practicing a musical instrument. Anything that, especially if it's inconvenient or difficult or new, you got a purpose. So let me ask you, what's your purpose? What's your purpose? Why are you doing what you're doing? And do you have a strong enough why on the new thing you want to do? And so again, just a simple strategy here, but get clarity on that. And if you're clear here, because you're going to ask yourself, I guarantee you're going to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Man, that's hard. Why am I doing this? Especially like when I was competing with triathlons, I used to ask myself that because they're really hard. And I'd be going and literally during the race, I'd be like, why am I doing this? This is miserable. But after every race, I'd be like, oh, when's the next one? I got to sign up. This is amazing. And my purpose was to do hard things, to test my limits, to push myself to that pain, to that point of wanting to quit, but going anyways. I loved it. Right? I love that. We're hiking this big old mountain soon, and it's going to be brutal. It's going to be crazy hard. I'm training hard right now. And when your legs are screaming and your lungs are burning, your heart's pounding, and you want to give up, I have a purpose. And so I push through it. So get crystal clear on your purpose. What is your purpose for your routines, your habits, and your rituals? And if you have your why and you have a powerful, positive ritual in your life, it's going to be a new building block now that's going to help bring the happiness, the health, the wealth, the success, all the great things you want in your life. And you can build that in your family culture and just, you're unstoppable in doing the great things you want. Remember, awesome is always an option. Reach upward.